If you wanna be bright-minded, there's just one place to go. When you're stuck at home and the time is ticking slow. Monday through Friday, live with Miley on my Instagram show. On my Instagram show. Stay lit, everybody. Good morning. Yes, I give myself a bang haircut and it is officially in the shape of a ball. Okay. Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to Bright Minded Live with Miley. Today is National Doctors and Healthcare Workers Day, and I want to start by thanking them from the bottom of my heart for continuing to show up and save lives. We want to honor and celebrate everyone working in healthcare right now fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. So please share a message in a post using National Doctors Day, and you can show them your thanks by staying home. So let's give them a round of applause for their heroic work. Okay, so now I want to start the week with some big news. Social distancing has been extended officially until April 30th. Which will be helpful to keep flattening the curve. I know it's hard to stay away from the ones that we love, but this is protecting the ones that we love as well. Days, weeks, months without them is worth the risk of losing them for a lifetime if we continue passing around this deadly virus. So for clarity on social distancing, the guidelines are avoid non-essential travel, eating at bars or restaurants, going to work, or gathering in groups. So right now the guidelines are through April 30th. But for some public health experts, they are saying that may need to last until June. So this is just to really try and reduce the death estimate. So please, everybody, I know it is so hard, but do your part to keep yourself, your community safe and healthy. So please stay updated and aware by checking in with reliable sources. I'm happy to see that you're watching Bright Minded and made Bright Minded one of your reliable sources. As I say, updated with the cdc.gov, that's the official COVID-19 website, and that's how I keep myself informed, so I promise to only be announcing the most up-to-date information. Now, some seriously good news. Airbnb is providing 100,000 healthcare workers around the world with housing. And this is huge because so many healthcare workers are afraid of passing the virus to their families, so afraid that they're sleeping in their cars, in their garages, etc. And this is just one less stressor for them so they can focus on the hard work of keeping people healthy, which is super badass. And speaking of badass, my first guest, Zion Clark, believes that there are no excuses. Due to caudal regression syndrome, Zion was born without his legs, but that never stopped him from pursuing his dreams and becoming an incredible athlete. When he isn't training, Zion is a motivational speaker. So I thought that there is no way to have a motivational Monday without Zion Clark. So let's connect Zion now.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Zion. Happy Monday.
Hey, same to you.
I'm so happy to have you on my show. You and I have been meaning to connect, and you have been wanting to train and work out together for a long time. And, you know, no excuses, but I'm kind of a sore loser, so I've been scared. And you know what? If COVID-19 has done anything, it's bring people together, even in ways when we can't physically connect. So I'm happy to finally be connected with you.
Yeah, it's great to finally actually talk to you. Almost face to face, we're close, but
I know screen to screen. I have a couple questions. I want to first thank you just for being on the show and for living the values that this show encourages and is based on. You really apply those to your everyday life. It's super inspiring to watch. I have watched your documentary more than once. I've shown it to everybody. I followed you on Instagram for a long time. I read a lot about you on your website when doing my research. So before we get started, if you could just like introduce yourself to people less familiar than myself and just share a bit of your story to the viewers.
So my name is Zion Clark. I'm from Massillon, Ohio. I'm a wrestler. I'm a professional track athlete. You know, I'm pretty good at what I do. I'm the star of a 2-time Emmy Award-winning film, Zion, on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, check it out. I grew up in foster care. Grew up pretty rough. Grew up a little street life, foster care, bouncing home to home. But you know, I got blessed. My mom ended up adopting me. She ended up, you know, giving me a good family platform so I could focus on things I want to do. You know, she's great. You know, I want to be the best in the world at what I do. I want to be the best wrestler. I want to be the best track athlete. I want to be the best speaker. I'm trying to max out everything I can do.
I read that you said in order to succeed that you have to adapt to your individual circumstances, which is really encouraging in these times of COVID-19 because everyone's experience with coronavirus is really different. So our thoughts and attention, they will determine how we feel. So where we put our focus determines our emotions. Were you always this determined and positive, or is this a skill that you've, you know, kind of evolved into and a person you've evolved into?
Definitely not something I've always really been about, you know, bouncing around through homes. I didn't really care too much about much of anything. Like I've been wrestling for about 15 years now. And just the last 5 years, I've actually taken it very seriously and like propelled myself onto that platform. You know, growing up, I didn't really care about much of what anybody thought. I didn't really care about anything. Like if I get kicked out of a house, okay, I get kicked out of a house. On to the next one. I'm ready to get kicked out of that one too.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't have that mindset, but I grew into it. I got adopted. I actually was able to tell myself and believe what I was telling myself, that I actually have a home, I have a family. You know, and I was able to start believing in believing in people around me that like I believe that they truly wanted to help me and wanted to help me succeed. Because you know, I wasn't the best student, I wasn't the best athlete, I wasn't the best anything. I ended up getting that focus. It actually happened between my junior and senior year of high school that summer. I still remember it like it happened yesterday. I trained every day over the summer. I didn't really hang out with nobody. I just focused, like training 2 or 3 times a day. And then, you know, I came out senior year blazing, and after that, it hasn't stopped. You know, senior year, ESPN starts following, and everybody else starts following, and I can't not win.
That is so cool. And you know, I've seen you on your Instagram. You were encouraging a quarantine push-up challenge, which we've been talking a lot about push-ups on this show because I think the hardest thing, you know, I love that you say no excuses because it is so easy to create the list of excuses. Like, I don't have any workout equipment. I don't have weights at home. All you need for a push-up is yourself and some solid ground. And so today I wanted to do your push-up quarantine challenge. Now I repeat, this is a challenge, not a competition because I will lose. But this is something that people can do in a small space when they're quarantined at home, and not just to stay in shape, but exercise is about the mind as much as it is the body. So how do you think that the mental strength and physical strength connect and how one activates the other?
Mental strength always comes first to start with. Because you're like, no, I'm big, I'm strong, all that. But, like, I never was this big. I never was this strong. My senior year of high school, I was big, but I wasn't as big now. It's all the mental thing. Plus, like, not having legs and going out and wrestling someone twice your size. You know, I weigh a lot less than most people. But wrestling someone twice your size, it's all mental. Because you walk out there and you're like, man, this guy's tall. This guy's like 6 foot. This guy's big. And, like, me, I'm sitting at 3 feet 4 inches. It's all mental. Let's say I take a shot for anybody that's a wrestler watching this. Let's say I take a shot, and the shot's like me attacking your legs, trying to pick you up and drop you. Say I take a shot, and the guy starts to defend. Like, he might be stronger than me, but in my head, I'm like, well, he's pretty strong. He probably might be able to defend it, but in my head, I'm thinking like, but I ain't gonna let that happen though. I'm still gonna get the takedown if I want it. This is my match, not your match. I'm going to control what happens, not you. And then the strength is behind that. The strength part of that is all the hard work you're putting in to train the mental. They intertwine. You build up your confidence, you build up your strength, you feel like a total badass, and then you have all that confidence in your head where you're like, nobody's going to beat me. Nobody's going to stop what I want to do. Nobody's going to crush my dreams. I'm going to crush their dreams. So you step out on the mat, somebody's going to walk away with a loss, and it's literally down to you too. It's not your team. It's not everybody. Yeah, you have teams, but when you step on the mat, it's literally you alone. You don't have a team to pick up your slack if you get taken down. You got to pick up your own slack.
And I was actually gonna ask, and yes, I'm procrastinating because I don't want to do a push-up. But my last question for you, just only because you mentioned that, you know, when you're a team, you do rely on a team. And at this point, we don't have our, even if you're not really on a team, like our friends, our family, our usual physical support system. We're kind of on our own in this time of isolation. But when you're unable to be a part of a team and it's just you, is there any mantra or anything you say to yourself before you go out there to put all that, like, it's so much pressure on just you?
Honestly, it's gonna sound completely unbelievable, but I don't really think about anything. I try to stay as calm as possible because, like, say you're going into a fight. My boy Joey Davis, for example, he's a professional fighter, fights Bellator, undefeated. He's just like me. He's super calm, and the other guy on the other side of the ring, the other guy on the opposite side of the mat, might be like shaking his arms, smacking himself, all this. I'm sitting here practically meditating, just waiting. And guess what? The calm guy's probably going to pull out the win because we're more confident, we're more focused. We're not trying to show off. I mean, the calm guy wants to show out, but at the same time, we're going to be calm about it. We're going to focus, and we're going to attack what we're wanting to do.
So I think that's really good advice for right now because there is so much panic and so much fear that I think really just staying calm, meditating, breathing, and some push-ups.
Yeah,
you ready to do a little push-up challenge? I'm ready to go. My dog is going to be with us.
Such a cute dog. How kind is he?
I think he's a German Shepherd mix. He's a little rescue. I'm going to tilt my camera down. I got this new tripod, so I'm ready to go. All right, so here we go. No crazy clapping, nothing. I'm not even going to do
No clapping. You don't want to do any of that.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, Miley. 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. 9. Oh my God, my knee.
9.
You win.
All right, you got 9. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
I got 9, so I'm going to challenge my fans to send videos of themselves doing Zion's quarantine push-up challenge. I'm sure my fans can do more than 9.
I'm a partial owner of a company called Real Deal. So we're all about, like, be the real you, be inspired, go outside, go play, be yourself. Everybody knows how I'm famous for the tattoo on my back, no excuses. There's going to be a shirt. It's exact copy of my tattoo.
I need it.
I'll get you one. You'll be one of the first to get one.
All right, get me one, and you're going to see me repping it on Right Minded because I need to remember that every day. It's been so hard for me. I'm like, the good thing about being a talk show host is all I kind of got to do is sit on the couch and talk to people. But that is not my usual everyday life. Being a performer and touring, that's like being an athlete. There's so much preparation, so much pain.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to make the excuses like, well, I'm just sitting on the couch right now, just talking to people. But it's not going to be that way forever. I'm going to go back to performing. I've got festivals coming up. So I need to realize and remember to not make excuses. So I need that shirt.
If you just keep watching on my Instagram, I'll be releasing it. It's a really cool shirt. It's No Excuses. It has a big Z in the shape of a lightning bolt in the front and No Excuses on the back.
Everyone follow Zion on Instagram. Thank you so much for being on the show.
No, thank you.
Bye, Zion. Thank you.
Bye, Miley. Bye.
Oh, he is just so badass. I love Zion. Make sure you check out his socials and webpage for more inspirational information. Now, did somebody just say inspirational? Because that's like rubbing the lamp, you know, with the genie in the bottle. That's for this next guest. If you say inspirational, she just appears because she's one of the most inspiring women in the industry. And I had the honor of sitting next to her for my time on The Voice, taking notes and learning from her every day. Not just about music, but humility, dignity, honor, and love. So it is time to connect Alicia Keys. Queen!
My sister!
How's it going, Alicia? It's so good to see you. I miss you.
I miss you, Mama. It's so good to see you as well. You got the super freshest setup I ever saw. You got pom-poms.
You know, I got the pom-pom pillow, got the celebration of the balloon. I had a lot of time on my hands, which, you know, for creatives, we'll just start creating wherever we are.
I love it, man. You're the most brightest, brilliant spirit I ever saw, man. I just adore you, seriously.
But one thing I am not is a hairstylist. So last night I got the scissors. She's going up on the sides. This morning I was like, I went to sleep Miley Cyrus and I woke up Keith Richards, but it's okay.
That's all right. You know, I just put mine in the little back, you know.
I didn't notice how short I went because I've been wearing my hair slicked. I don't know if it's like what is going on, but like I just can't wash my hair. I don't get out of my sweatpants really. I just like am letting it go, so I didn't really realize what all had happened.
Everybody's kind of on that tip.
I want to thank you so much for being on the show. Today is Motivational Monday, and it can't be done without you. And we see you on your gram. The greatest thing about Instagram is like you can shine and you can keep people updated with ways that you're staying bright during a dark time. And so we can learn so much from you by going on your Instagram. But we can learn so much from everybody right now because everyone's experience with COVID-19 is so unique and everyone's got their own tools and tips on how they're really getting through it and staying bright through it. So how are you staying lit in dark times?
You know, first of all, I'm big on gratitude. You know, I think that gratitude really helps a lot because sometimes I wake up in the morning, I feel really anxious or I feel really like I feel a little funny thing. And I think probably all of us are feeling that. And it kind of waves. Like some days I feel really strong and clear and other times I feel like off. So whenever I start to feeling off, I really get to my gratitude. Like I start thinking about, man, I'm so grateful I'm breathing. Wow, I'm so grateful my family's healthy. Man, I'm so grateful that I can, you know, just walk around this space for a minute, you know, because what if I was confined to only a chair and I couldn't even get up, you know? So I start to really think about the things that I'm grateful for. And I find when I just do that, it's a trick like, and it gets me out of the funk. So that helps a lot. I definitely like a little routine, like something that I'm doing, you know, because I have kids. So that's actually interesting, kind of managing all of their energies too and making sure they feel safe and you know they're loud as hell and sometimes I want to be quiet, you know. It's like, so just trying to figure it out, but having some type of schedule works too. Like we'll do a workout together at a certain time of day and just like get it in, or you know, something that, you know, or we'll play some type of game. Or last night we did this drawing thing before bed. Man, I was so grateful to my 9-year-old because I started drawing and I'm not a drawer. I can't really draw, to be honest. I tried to copy this picture of a wolf. I wish I had it. You'd be proud. It looks kind of good. But this action of just drawing and coloring and even that did something for me. So, you know, just continuing to reach out to family and friends like you. I wanted to connect with you. I think that, you know, this technology ability to see people that you love and just connect for a second, it helps. So, and I've even been writing letters. I know that it's harder to send things right now. Things are a little bit slower, but even just like writing letters to people and telling them I'm thinking about them, and somehow that's feeling nice for me too. So
that's something my dad said too. He's like, you know, when you write something down, you really give it power. And that kind of gets me actually to my next question. I'm skipping ahead because it was such a good segue for it. I was talking on Friday's episode about how when we come out of this, we don't want to go back to a pre-COVID-19 world. And, you know, we want to go back to a better world, one that's more connected, one that's more compassionate. I mean, right now, everyone is stopping everything that they got going on just to protect the vulnerable. And we don't always do that. That's not a part of our everyday routine. So we're actually maybe becoming better people through the virus of actually saying, hey, what I got going on in my life isn't worth jeopardizing someone else's health. And we don't always do that, whether it's driving big cars or all the things that we do to pollute the environment or trying to take less trips. You know, maybe having more like local vacations instead of taking 100 flights a year, even though that's kind of hard for us. So what positive effect would you like to see come out of the experience, and what world do you want to step back into?
Man, that's a deep old question. Just asking a deep old one. I mean, I'd have to agree that there is so many positive things that come from slowing down. And I think this, you know, this idea of, you know, we're always in such a rush. We're always so hurried and moving so fast. So many people I've even encountered that said, you know, man, I've never had this type of time to like think or to, you know, just have moments, even with your family. Like, you know, that's a lot of people don't even have that experience where it's consistently with your family. So I think that that this idea of slowing down a little bit and holding on to that a bit and figuring out how to put that in process would be really beautiful. I do agree. I think there's a much more thoughtful nature about everything. Like we're thinking about each other more. We're a little bit more considerate even, you know, and big things don't matter. Now it's like just the little things matter a lot.
Yeah.
So I would love that to continue on and for us to just hold on to that and make space for that, make time for that. And make that a conscious effort. It's deep. It's like we're forced into it right now.
You know, actually, I just got a new puppy, and it's so cute because he really, really loves his crate because that's his cave. That's his version of our house. He puts himself in there at night. You don't even have to put him in there because he wants to go into his cave. That's his safety. And now us thinking about our homes, if we're lucky enough to have one, to go, hey, this isn't just where I sleep and live. This is my safety. And there's a lot of people that don't have that safety. So I think I'm thinking about my home in a really different way and what it would be if I didn't have this type of safety. And now, you know, in LA, they're doing a lot more work to protect the homeless because the minute that this hits the homeless community, they don't have a place where they can really isolate. So they're getting trailers put together. So if there are COVID positive homeless people, they can be a place, you know, where they can quarantine themselves because otherwise they don't really have that safety. So we're so lucky to have that.
Seriously, I'm with you. What do you want to see come out of it?
I think I want to let people know how much I appreciate their time that they give me. There's two girls that make my cappuccinos at my local little spot. I have one in Nashville and I have one in LA, and I go every single day. And the girls are always funny. They like fill me in on kind of like my community, you know, tea. They give me the gossip, who's going through what, and we always have a super great conversation. But I don't think I've ever told them how much I appreciate them in my morning. Because they're so stoked to be there and to see me, and like we just have such a great time. And it's those people, like I constantly tell my mom how much she means to me. I constantly tell my friends and my sisters, but not the people in my life that I have those little daily interactions with that I've never taken the time to go, seeing you in the morning makes my day. Like I love connecting with you, and I think I love them so much because I don't have like a ton of friends my age, so they're my age. I see them in the morning, and it's just a really normal ritual for me. So just telling the people in my life that don't know how crucial they are to my being, they just like totally fertilize all the big dreams and like ambitions that I have. Like they just make that grow. So
that's
wild.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah, that appreciation and that connection is so, now that it's not possible, you know, so much, we do appreciate it so much.
One thing I wanted to ask you too is being bright-minded is not always automatic. Some days it takes steps to get into a good healthy headspace, like meditation or yoga or breathing. So on days that you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, how does Alicia Keys get bright-minded?
I'm really needing my meditation more than ever now. When I miss it, I feel it. Like you know, the energy that I might be getting just sometimes really, I feel it. But sometimes we want so bad to fix everything and set it straight and set it right. And there's nothing, and yes, and that's great. I'm not saying don't set it right and don't fix what you need to fix, but it's also something to be learned and gained from the discomfort. There's something to be learned and gained from the fear, the anxiety, the things that might come up for you that make you feel a little bit down. And sometimes when you listen to that and you kind of ask yourself, like, what is it that you're scared of? Or what is it that you're worried about? What is that you're feeling? You can tap in to a piece of yourself that maybe you've ignored the whole time or you've never paid attention to. And that will eventually lead you to feeling more back in your center, to learn something about yourself that you never took the time to listen to before. So I know that might sound counterintuitive, but I'm personally a person who finds myself always wanting to fix things and make everything quote unquote perfect and right and all this type of stuff. I'm learning about being comfortable with the discomfort and learning from it and listening to it, and that also is a part of what turns me around too. But I will also, you know, put on some good music, man. Put on some good music.
Yeah.
Jump to your bed. You know what I mean? Like blast it, dance around, things like that, where you're just kind of getting your heart up and you're just like letting it go. Screaming is really amazing. Go for a scream. Go ahead and let it out. Don't hold it back. Let it out. Be like, ah!
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 I was doing that last night and just sending videos to all my friends of just me screaming. And they're like, it's really getting to you. I'm like, no, it just feels really good.
Honestly, it really feels good. And, you know, so things like that, you know, and listen to songs that uplift you, like pay attention, be conscious of the lyrics even that you're taking in, like listen to things that feed you and give something to your soul. Cause right now we need a lot of soul feeding, and that really helps. So that's some of my little vibes.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm going to send you, my fans are like being amazing and they're writing down how each guest has helped them and made them feel brighter. So I'll text you some of those little notes from everybody. This has been so good, Alicia. You're always like just radiating so much light, and just thank you for sharing that with us today.
Well, thank you to everybody. You know, thank you for inviting me. You know, I adore you. One of the things I've been thinking about so much is how to keep becoming more ourselves, because that's a journey that I've been on for, you know, not who we're told to be or who people want us to be or who we're expected to be, but actually who you actually are. And I think some of those things you've been asking about like to let go of or to find your way back to your center is all about continuing to become more yourself. And so I see you always being yourself. And I have a book called More Myself coming out tomorrow.
No way!
I know. And I actually couldn't believe the timing of it, because I think right now more than ever, we're just looking for something to connect to. And we're looking for who we really are in this moment right now. You know what I mean? And so it's beautiful words. And I couldn't have imagined that it would be this happening right now. But I couldn't be more proud that it actually is out in the world for people to receive this message here. And I mean, everybody has been showing my song Underdog so much love. That's another song that I think resonates with all the first responders and the healthcare professionals that are out here, like being unbelievable. I couldn't be more inspired by people being so giving and loving of their time and their health and their space and, you know, their knowledge. And so it's, you know, I think even though it feels like a crazy world, we're seeing the best of ourselves. And so back to your question about, you know, what do we want coming out of this, is like finding and continuing to cultivate the best of ourselves. And so thank you for being the best that you are and being this beautiful light that just is completely yourself and on your own trajectory. And I've always loved that about you so much. And for starting this, because, you know, we need this. We need that good energy right now. So you always bring it. And I adore you, girl.
I adore you. Thank you so much, Alicia. And I can't wait. I'm just going to be streaming your song like crazy. I can't wait to check out your book. Thank you for always sharing your light with us. We love you so much.
Mwah.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye, babe.
So you know who else I love? I love Alicia Keys, and I love Selma Blair. She has been so bold and transparent through her experience with MS. And so when putting together the Motivational Monday episode, I knew that it would not be right to do it without her. So I'm going to connect Selma now. Hi, Selma.
Hi, you make me so happy. Oh
You
my,
made me so happy.
thank you. My voice is a little weird at first, and I usually find it calms down. I bring my legs in and stuff. So just letting people know I'm not like sick. I just have a speech issue.
Don't worry about it at all. You sound amazing. That's a part of, I mean, same thing even like for my voice. If I'm doing a show, the first couple of songs, I'm like figuring myself out and I'm like getting myself into my body. So don't worry.
That even happens to you. So
yeah.
while I'm tone deaf, I'm the biggest talker. So it's like so weird that I'm slow. But anyhow, good morning. I loved watching Alicia and Zion. so amazing. That just made me feel better in itself. Although, you know, I'm such a wisecracker. They're all so earnest and good people, and I'm still an asshole. It's a joke.
Absolutely not. But we are able to share so much. Coronavirus is really demanding that we connect in ways beyond physically. What have you learned in COVID-19?
How we show our grace and being there for our loved ones with, you know, keeping ourselves as strong and also being vulnerable, which is a form of strength to me and has helped me for other people to shoulder stuff when I've been nervous. So to be open, but also really take this opportunity to be the best you can be, to help your days along. You know, I'm just the same with me getting a diagnosis of MS or speech issues, or I can't ride my horse now. There's so many, I mean, there's not been 1 minute that I felt sorry for myself. Of course, I'm not at risk of dying, you know, immediately if I got it, unless I got a virus like everyone else. I just really look in the moment because now, you know, I'm a middle-aged woman with an incurable disease, and it doesn't even matter. I mean, anyone can be, God forbid, hit by a car on a Tuesday afternoon. So we're all just really, you know, do what we can to enjoy this and help our children or parents or neighbors. I mean, I'm not going to do any of that, but I'm glad you are.
We've spoken a lot on Right Minded about the war between our ears. So not believing every thought that we think is true, because our brain just totally does its own thing. We have no control over it. It gets cluttered with negative thoughts, and our brain loves to future tell. So we've all got like a psychic inside of our brain that says, I know this is going to happen, which we absolutely don't know. So on some days where the battle is bigger than other days, how do you tame that dragon and focus on helpful thoughts and not hurtful thoughts?
Yeah, I think I had a whole lifetime of hurtful thoughts. Like I was just one of those people that just wasn't happy. So I just would go to the dark stuff. And then when I kind of had a reason to go, ooh, sit back, you might want to grieve a little, I was like, oh, now I'm allowed to. Like, I'm okay. That slot's taken. I just don't worry anymore. I really don't. I worry about, you know, the people that I employ, like how can I keep them safer, my son, my family. But like I read, I think it was like, you know, an Eat, Pray, Love, like years ago, with how, you know, when the negative thoughts would come in, you know, you just really have to tell them to like go take a bath or something, because they've never helped me in my life. Not once is my critical, unless it's like to do a rewrite or an edit, but not if it's in love, because not once have I helped myself by being angry or down at myself. And now I'm just learning at 47. Like, shit, this is my one chance. Like, just enjoy it. I mean, we do have control, right? I mean, you have control of your thoughts. For sure, you've gotten terrified and, like, talked yourself back on something.
Oh my God, I just, pretty much every time I go on stage, I ask my mom who's watching, do I have to do this? And she's like, she's like, there was about, because usually you have at least, you know, 40, 50, 2 months, days notice before a show. And she's like, one, I've had 15 years to decide, no thank you. So she's always like, you could have made this decision before. Like, so I always have to do the shows. And if I would have bailed on shows, that would have become a habit for me. I would have continued to do that. And I would have continued to have been unreliable, which we do not want to be. So today is National Doctors and Health.
I know. I just found out. Thank you, doctors. National Doctors.
That's what I was going to ask. I wanted to know if you have a special message for them before we sign off, because we are so lucky every day to have people like them caring and showing up to work and trying their best to save lives. So do you have a message for doctors and healthcare workers?
I mean, I'm in awe of people right now that are really battling through this in a much more active way than the rest of us staying at home. I'm in awe and admiration. I hope there's such, they feel the gratitude when they get to lay down at night, the doctors and nurses and everyone that's working under such duress to help our society.
I wanted to thank you so much for being on the show, for always like being such a light for everyone, and you just shine so bright, and I'm so glad we finally got to connect. Thank you so much, Selma.
Big love, Miley.
Okay, so now for our final bright-minded guest, it is Millie Bobby Brown. This was a big request from everybody that's been watching, all the viewers, but mostly a big request of mine. I've been trying to talk to this girl forever. Hi, Millie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm happy to be talking to you. Thank you for joining us on Bright Minded.
Of course. I'm so excited. I just watched The Last Guest and it was really, really amazing.
Selma is awesome, and Zion
Yeah.
Clark, who is one of the best athletes in the world. So incredible to have him on the show. Alicia, and now
Yeah.
you. So I'm so excited to have you on the show. So I wanted to start by telling you a funny story, because growing up, everyone called me Millie. Like in
Really?
school, all of my dad's fans would be like, "Oh, your daughter Millie." Even my like random cousins, they would all call me Millie. They would always get it wrong. And so
Okay.
I am a big Liza Minnelli fan, hence the bowl cut. And so
Right.
I would use her Liza with the Z song to correct them when people would call me Millie. So everyone used to call Liza Minnelli Lisa. So she had the song, it's Liza with the Z, not Lisa with an S. So when people would get it wrong, I would sing, it's Miley with the my, not Millie with the me, cause Millie with the me goes me, not my. It's Miley with the my, not Millie with the me, cause Millie with the me goes it all night. And I would always sing the song. So everyone would always get my name wrong, and they would always call me Millie.
Oh my goodness. Everybody calls me Miley. Like
No
everybody.
way.
And in southern, like in like South America, usually they say Miley Bobby Brown. Like they never get my name correct. So I feel like we're both getting it here.
Maybe
They're like,
we
hi,
needed,
Miley. I'm like, hi. That's my new name.
maybe we needed to like reverse our spelling or something. I don't know.
I know. No idea.
So when I was asked you to be on Bright Minded, I was super stoked that you immediately said yes, because you're just such a light. You do incredible work, especially for your age. You just turned 16. Nothing
Yes.
is anything different. Life's pretty much the same.
I don't know. I feel like everybody still just kind of looks at me as like I'm still 10. So I feel like no different whatsoever. I mean, as a person, I can kind of tell my parents like, but I'm 16 now, and that kind of works. But in other situations, not really. No.
Yeah, I feel like the world likes to pretend I'm 10 years old too, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm 30, so it never goes away.
No.
So for my Sweet 16, I had my Sweet 16 at Disneyland, and I actually performed at my own birthday party, which now feels really weird and narcissistic. But somehow
Actually,
I got
kind of
convinced.
amazing.
Somehow I got convinced to invite all my fans to my birthday party and perform. So basically, I got like tricked into doing a concert.
Oh my God.
But the best part was that they shut Disneyland down for me, and so I could actually ride rides after dark. And usually, I never would have been able to do something like that. So I got to have all my friends. I was like, cool forever, because we got to go on Space Mountain like 100 freaking times. So turning 16 was like definitely a really, really big thing. And so I saw that you got a puppy. Was that a birthday present, or this was just like, what? How did you get your puppy?
So basically, like when I was like 10 and I was in the industry, I was very confident and like really didn't care about like anything or any what people would say about me. And then recently, maybe since I've turned like 15, like about 2 years ago, I just started having really bad panic attacks, like really bad anxiety, and I just struggled with it really bad. And so I still struggle with it. But it's getting better. I mean, I'm working on it, but it's something that I don't really like. I'm not as carefree as I was when I was like 10 and just started in Stranger Things. And now a lot of people have a lot more to say about me, and you know, there's a lot of good, but there's a lot of bad, as you probably know. And so I was just talking, and I was like, maybe I should get a therapy dog. You know, something to comfort me when I'm really stressed. And you know, when I'm traveling and things like that, it would just help me. So I convinced my parents, because we have 3 English Mastiffs, one Reggie and one Dolly, and they just kind of run around the house, and the 2 of them live outside, one of them lives inside, and I can't pick them up and I can't play with them. So I was like, I want a dog that I can play with, and that was just going to comfort me. So I got Winnie the Pooh, who's right here.
I have to introduce you to my puppies under the couch. Come here, baby. Oh, come here. He's used to this. Oh, come here. He's so sleepy. Oh, he's so sleepy.
Oh my gosh.
He's so sleepy all the time.
Oh, it's so cute. He's like literally
This is
sleeping.
Bo. This is Bo. His name is short for Rainbow. He just woke up from his
Oh,
nap.
oh my goodness, so
He just
cute.
sleeps under my couch, which if I ever have a real talk show, that will also be happening. I will have
Yeah,
dogs
definitely.
under my couch. But they are the
Yeah.
best for anxiety, and especially with traveling, because we do have such a small one that you can kind of take with you everywhere. And for my
Yeah.
16th, that was kind of the same thing, because like I was doing Hannah Montana at the time, and like I was
Yeah.
traveling so much, and when I'd be on tour buses or anything, I just get so lonely. I wouldn't have my friends, wouldn't have my family. And actually, the dog that I got for my 16th birthday is still alive and healthy and happy, and she lives with my grandma, and my grandma lives at senior living, and so right now we're unable to see her, so I'm so happy that she had the dog, because that
Yes, you have
anxiety
a
too,
dog.
it's
That's
so
so cute. My grandma is at a care home as well, and it's so hard. You know, I'm really close to my grandma, and like she's just like the woman that like makes me laugh, and I call her every day because I live, you know, in America. But when I go back home, I like love seeing her. But I think it sucks just knowing that, you know, you can't see them, but it's also like we have to because we have to keep them safe most of all. So I'm glad, but it's also hard.
I know it's super, super hard, so I'm really happy
Yeah.
that my grandma has a puppy to
Yes.
So we kind of touched on this, but you've done a lot of work concerning cyberbullying and how important it is to protect people online. And on Bright Minded, we talk a lot about reliable sources, and you know that the internet is not always a reliable source. And
No.
so in your life, who do you think some of your most reliable sources are? Like you just said, your grandmas, your family, your friends. How can we keep each other safe in real life and on the internet, you know, mentally?
I think because my whole life is very public, you know, like it's just like once you do one thing, it's kind of like it's all eyes are on you. And so it can be really terrifying. You feel like you can't make a mistake. So keeping people around you that validate you and make you feel like that's like that you're normal and that everything's okay, and they just validate your feelings. I think that the things like that make me feel grounded again and, you know, humble me more. I feel centered, I think. It's just like, okay, this is okay to feel. Everybody's alienating me, and actually my parents, my mom and dad, you know, you have great parents. Like, it's just like having that support system of saying, you know, it's fine. They'll tell you where you go wrong, and they'll tell you when you're fine and you can, you know, chill out. I think that things like that, obviously you have a lot of siblings. I have 2 sisters and a brother. And you know, I have a younger sister, so I can be that big sister, and then I can also be the younger sister. And I think to me, like just keeping my family so close. Growing up, I was just have to say, like the only way I got my American accent was by watching Hannah Montana. I don't know if you've ever I don't know if you've ever
I'm
had.
surprised you don't have a country accent.
No, no, I watched Hannah Montana. Like I was like obviously like, you know, I was obsessed with it. But and I was actually just going through my camera roll and I saw a video of me in like a cowboy hat, and I was learning what do you call hoedown?
Oh my God, the hoedown throwdown.
Full on knew every single dance move with the like so I was like obsessed with like, and now like thinking back on how obsessed I was with just I wanted your job. Like I didn't know how to get your job, but I was like, I want to be like, you know, Hannah Montana. I don't know how to do it. And then I realized it was an actual job, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. That sounds fun. I didn't even know you could get money for it. I was like, I'll do it for free. So it was actually great. I was like, so yeah, I just sidetracking completely, but like family, friends. I mean, I don't have a lot of friends. I have a close knit of like 3 girls. Obviously my Stranger Things cast. And those are the people I really stick by because they've been there since day one.
I love that story so much. That is hilarious. The
Yeah.
more normal and the more real someone would keep it with me, like if my friend would be like, listen, like you didn't say thank you when the waiter brought your water. That was kind of rude. You need to like say something. You know, I would want my friends to keep it real and keep me humble. And like the more that they
100%.
put me in my place, the more I love them and respect them.
Exactly, yeah. I keep people around like that, you know, like a few years ago I got really close to the girl who had cancer and she related to Stranger Things because she had you know, no hair. And I had a shaved head and she loved it. And so sadly, she passed away and she had two sisters. And like I've kept them with me throughout this whole journey because they'll tell me where I've gone wrong. They'll tell me like who I should stay away from, which boy isn't good, or like they'll tell because that's what I need because I can't be around people that'll, you know, just tell me what I want to hear because that's wrong. And that's what my family have taught me, and my family just put me in my place, you know, make my bed, do my laundry, clean up after myself. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but some people in the industry, they feel like that's kind of like they're invincible, and they're not. We're all humans, and that's why the situation that we're in right now with quarantining, it can really help humble us and center us, remember what's important.
It's really cool to hear you say that.
That we're all humans and we're all very uniquely special, and I feel like that's what people need to start realizing. And social media is a place where we can, some people perceive like these people to be something they're not, and it's what you're putting out there, you know, like that's why on my Instagram, and I love your Instagram, it's like when you look at it, you see a real person, you see someone going through stuff, you see people like, you know, you see no makeup, and you see just like the realness of a person instead of just seeing filters, and which I love, by the way, filters. I'm not hiding behind that. I'm just saying seeing a real person go through it all is really important. And like I want my fans and people watching me to see a real person growing up and a real like girl going through it. And that's why on my 16th birthday, I like personally edited a video of all the things that have gotten me down like through this industry and really hurt me, and then the things that lighten me and inspire me and make me a better person. And that was probably the biggest thing about turning 16. And it was a very big scary thing to like press post, you know, have you ever done that? You're like, I'm actually going to do this. And so like when you do that, it's like it releases, like I want people to know that I do get hurt. It's not a normal thing to not get hurt, you know, like when those articles come out, I can't just brush it off. It does hurt sometimes, but it's how you get back up and you know, your reaction to it.
I actually wrote something that's kind of a perfect segue into something that I wanted to ask you, because tomorrow's episode is about self-care, and I know that you like love beauty. I always see you with your beauty line. You actually sent me some Florence by Mills, and you were just so sweet to send me that. I love it so much. And I love what you did for your 16th, where you did the 16 Wishes campaign. So you named your products after values that you believe in. So, you know, like strength and all these things that you could share that makes it more than just makeup. My dog's crying too. So
here, I got it. This is the this is the palette, and we have like friendship, celebration, appreciation. Yeah, when I was making it, I wanted all the things that I love and I value in a person, in life. And so, yeah, I knew I wanted to do that for my 16th. I wanted to keep it light and happy, but I also wanted to have a deeper meaning to it.
Can you show us some of the colors in that in your little packaging, because it's so cute and I just love the packaging so much.
So to kind of show, it's got a really cool like.
I love that so much.
Yeah,
you can just like take it with you.
Exactly. So this is the neutral palette. I don't know if you can see, but it's like it's got some neutral colors. I use like bravery and success, and then this is the blue and green.
Love that.
Which I love. And then my favorite personally is the pink and the purples. I literally use freedom and love for New Year's, and I remember my parents were like, "You've gone for pink." I was like, yes I have. It's happening. On my face.
How cool is that? Like every day when someone asks you what you're wearing, you can say bravery or love and freedom. Like, and that thing about that has to like soak into you and just have you illuminate that. That's such a cool idea.
Yeah, and when you want to share it with friends, you know, like I always think like if I wanted to just give this to someone, I can like, you know, I'm going to give you bravery because I want you to be brave and I want you to, you know, succeed, or I want you to appreciate, or I want you to be hopeful, and you can actually give them that and share your palette with them, which I always found, you know, just like really like unifying, and
makes it more than makeup, and it doesn't feel like you're covering something up, but you're enhancing a part of yourself. That's
I don't.
Cool.
When making the brand, I was like, I don't want to be too selly. I don't want to like show something that I'm not. This is genuinely what I believe in. You can buy it if you want to, and if you don't want to, that's okay. But this is the meaning behind it, and I'm doing it for girls that don't know how to do makeup because I don't know either. You know, like
I just hope for the best.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
just kind of start going and hope for the best. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I wanted to tell you that it has been so much fun to just watch you grow up because people did that with me. And, you know, I
Yeah.
started doing my show when you were like 1 or 2. And the
Yeah.
world really watched me grow up on their TV. And just like
Yeah.
they have with you. And it's been so fun to watch this metamorphosis and to see you just like shine your light. I guess from my experience before we close, and you were saying that people still think of you like you're 10 years old, that may never change. And it's kind of interesting because I felt that way my whole career. I think that's why when anything I do is so shocking, or you know, people
Yeah.
like care so much to write about it, is because they know you more than they know anyone else, because they really
Yeah.
watched you grow up. So don't be discouraged, and don't ever hold yourself back, you know, which you're not, but don't ever hold yourself back because of the fear of what people will say or what people will think. They'll adjust to you, and you've got to just be able to spread your wings and like grow and be who you are. So
Yeah.
I'm just really proud of you. It's really fun to watch you grow up. It's
Thank
scary to do
you.
what you're doing, so bravery
Yeah.
is definitely a word I would use to describe you.
Yes, thank you so much. You're so sweet, and I've just loved doing this. I had today is it's National,
National Doctors and Healthcare Workers Day.
just to put it out here right now, thank you to everyone who's being, first of all, so brave and amazing, and you know, to have people like this in the world, we're so lucky, and this is kind of what life is. This is what we live for, and I feel like we're very lucky to have people in this world that are so brave and talented to cure these people and help these people. So thank you so much for having me, and yeah, it's been amazing. I've loved it.
Thank you, Millie. I hope to
Thank you.
see you again
Bye.
in person. Thank you so much.
Yes. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
girl. Bye, Winnie. Thank you for spending Motivational Monday with me here at Bright Minded. And Zion Clark, Alicia Keys, Selma Blair, Millie Bobby Brown, thank you so much for your time. And I'm excited to announce that tomorrow's episode is self-care. So I'm gonna have skincare with Biba, my facialist for years, who completely cleared my acne. She is a magician. So she's gonna be doing at-home skincare, toners, and masks, things that you can even just make with what you have in your kitchen. James Colliardo is my makeup artist for the past like 10 years. We're gonna be talking about our approach to makeup. Nails with Steph Stone Nails, gonna be really cool because we're gonna use minimal tools and try to do things with just what you would have at home. Hair with Justin Anderson, who will be using Kristen Cavallari as his model, and so he's going to be showing us some DIY hair masks and shampoos, thing that you can do. And then Miranda Kerr and Ashley Graham will be here to talk about their approach to self-care. See you guys then.